Hi everyone. When I made this video about overwhelm and dealing with the witching hour and the strategies that we use, I wasn't aware how much I was going to be sharing about the stuff that I'd internalized myself around dinner time and around the witching hour. So look out for that because I've just watched it back and I've just realized, wow, I actually did share quite a bit. Enjoy the video, guys. Bye. Hi everyone, Miranda here for my weekly Wednesday live. Welcome to today and thank you to those people who have joined, and I hope you like it here. I hope you get lots of actionable strategies from me. My name is Miranda Hodge. I run Smart Mama, Smart Kids Parenting, and I'm all about practicality. I'm a teacher, I'm a mum, I'm a coach, and add all the other hats to being a mum in general. Okay, we all know that I'm a nurse as well and all those other things, not officially, but at home with my own children. So welcome to my group. Today is my weekly live, and every single week I do a quick live, or not so quick sometimes, quick live on what my topic is for the week. So this week I had my beautiful friend Beck Lethbridge popped up something the other day in one of my what do you want to cover posts, and I might put another one up actually later today or tomorrow because I really want to cover what you guys want to know. Okay, so Beck, this is basically directly answering your question, and I'm sure lots of other people have the same question as well. Okay, so the question was talking about overwhelm and how to manage overwhelm, which is really interesting because the group that I am, the resident parenting expert, Mums That Thrive, a membership, it's amazing. Anyway, they were actually talking about overwhelming motherhood in the last couple, yesterday or something. I'm like, this is so interesting. It's literally on my topic board for this week. Cool. Okay, so overwhelm. How do we manage overwhelm in motherhood? It is a huge, huge thing these days. Probably always has been, and we didn't talk about it, but I feel like mums are trying to pack in so much stuff into their days, into their moments, and you've got to get so much done in a small amount of time that quite often that creates overwhelm. And it can be things like overwhelm, in the witching hour. When you're trying to make dinner, that's mine. When you're trying to get out the door, that's sometimes mine as well. So what can you do about it? First of all, what I do with overwhelm is what you want to be doing is looking and understanding when it happens. Okay, so I just said that some of mine are, these are the things that I understand cause overwhelm in me. And when I'm overwhelmed, I am not my favorite person. I get grumpy and I start at the kids, and I don't like being like that at all. And they don't like it either, clearly. My husband thinks I'm grumpy and all this stuff. So what do we do? Overwhelm, identify where it actually is coming from. When is it occurring? Why is it occurring? If you can sort of dig back into it a little bit, this is something I do with mums as a coach. Dig back into it a little bit and go, why are you so overwhelmed when that happens? Is it just because there's too much coming your way? Is it because it was something to do with your parents? Is it because it was something to do with how your child reacts if you then say no? Or is it because everybody's tired and hating it? What's the deal? Why is this so overwhelming at that moment? Why does it consistently happen at that moment? So it's sort of a three-part strategy that I take here. So identify when, why, how, basically. Think about it. The next one to do is to manage it. So this is what I do with mums. We identify it and then we manage it. So the second one is manage. So basically this is the one where all the sort of meat comes into things, because you talk about strategies to deal with your children specifically at that time, strategies to entertain them differently, strategies to help them make better choices, strategies to make sure they're not in that horrible tantrum space when you're making tea, for instance, strategies that may mean you might shuffle your day a little bit so that you can go, you know what, tea's actually better at 5:30, or tea's actually, we're better off actually going, you know what, TV is great between 5:30 and 6 because I can get tea done. How to just get through. Some nights are just get through nights, right? In my house, I'm like, we're just getting through today. So sometimes there might be those one-off strategies that you employ just to get through that help you be a better person. Things like implementing self-care, which is my recent YouTube video I just popped up. So all those different things that you can do. And in the middle of managing it, so as I say, identify, manage. One of the things that I can do with mums is talk to them about and pull apart a bit some of the stuff that might have come down to you from your parents. So for instance, as part of managing it, it can be part of managing your own mindset, your own emotional state, your own understandings, and the expectations that you put on yourself, right? So again, this is some of the stuff we can go through. We talk about it, go, why is that like that? For instance, my mum always has tea on the table at 6 o'clock. Pretty much every single night, still does. 6:15 was like an extremely late night, whereas for me, I'm like, for ages I was like, oh no, I haven't got tea on the table at 6, and everyone else feeds their kids at 5 or 5:30, and I'm just not there and I'm not good enough. And for me, that's feeding into my overwhelm at those moments, right? So for me, it was up to me to start to go, okay, I can understand that. Now I'm going to work on letting that go, and I'm going to work on it, blah, 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 myself. So that's one way that I mean how your parents were or the environment you grew up in can really have an impact when you do not think that it is. And that's the sort of stuff I can work on with mums in this area. Okay, so the third one is reassess. Okay, so reassess is pretty obvious. Okay, so basically you identify, you throw all these different strategies, come one by one, bit by bit, into the mix and see if they help. Reassessing is simply seeing if they help. If they help, awesome, great. You are less overwhelmed. You have a bit of a chart at the start that you go, oh yeah, when I'm really overwhelmed, I feel like this, and this is the level. And then you might redo the same chart after you've tried the same strategies for a couple of weeks or, I don't know, maybe a month. And then you can go, all right, do I still feel that overwhelmed in that moment? Is this helping? Is that adding a different layer of stress somehow? Let's just work out what's actually going on. Am I starting to drop some of these mindset things that are really, really holding me back? What is going on here? Okay, so overwhelm, it is normal to feel overwhelmed in some way in motherhood. I am never going to stand here and tell you that I haven't felt like that and that I don't still, with 3 children, feel like that sometimes. Okay, this morning, for instance, trying to get out the door, I was like, my goodness. Okay, so I'm right there with you. I totally understand. But overwhelm is something that you can manage much better when you are intentional and you get onto it. Okay, it's the only way I can think of to say it. When you're intentional and go, we are going to bust some of this overwhelm. I understand it's probably not going to come to a 0. Overwhelm is never going to be at a 0 in the times when you usually get overwhelmed, unless you're amazing. Okay, but we can reduce it significantly by really working through it, teasing it out, trying to work out what exactly is going on in here as well as in here, and working out what's going to work for you. So some quick strategies that work often or have worked for me then to reduce the overwhelm. As I said, sometimes changing up your schedule. So going, you know what, my 2-year-old really does need to be fed at 5:30 and I need to have something from last night ready to go, or something I've quickly whipped up, whatever it is. Even sometimes a peanut butter sandwich. If we're at Nana's house and your kid's chucking a nana, remember next time, take a peanut butter sandwich and you can just feed your kid. Okay, and then who cares if they don't eat this massive big dinner? I'm talking about little kids. Okay, it doesn't matter if they don't eat a huge dinner at Nana's house. If Nana puts dinner on the table at 7 and they need to be fed at 5:30, we need to be taking them extra food, right? So, and that's obvious. I'm sure you guys know that, but it's just one of those strategies that we can easily overlook. Okay, another one that I try is doing, you can do, probably not messy play, but you can do like tactile play. So at my bench, I can do some of the tea, maybe not all of it, but some of it by being on one side. The youngest or the 2 youngest ones can hop up and do Play-Doh on the other side and make their own biscuits, okay? Or do some sort of play, they're drawing, and I can interact with them and they can still be here. I can see what they're doing, which is always helpful when you've got a 2 and a 4-year-old. I can see what they're doing. I can help them when they need it. I can pick up any Play-Doh that needs to go on. I can deal with any issues where they're whacking each other with rollers. All those things I can manage, but also they're entertained. All right, so finding something that is really, really entertaining for them is really, really helpful. And last but not least, if you need to remove the TV from another time of the day, if you know it's going to be a big sort of dinner creation tonight, and just go, you know what, you might be able to watch TV for half an hour between 5 and 5:30 because mama's got some stuff to do. Okay, so for me, there's some different strategies I try. I don't always use screen time, but sometimes, I mean, it's there, it's helpful. I just try to make sure if I use it in one space that I pull it out of another space, or a lot of it out of another space most days. But that's just how I work. Okay, there's no condemnation on what you guys need to do to get through. Please drop something below if you are interested in finding out more about overwhelm and how I can help you with that. Okay, I'm setting up a group coaching session where I want 5 people to join me. 5 people to join me for this group coaching session, okay? So you need to get in quickly if you want to get in, because I don't want to do 10 or 15 and not address everyone. 5 people, group coaching session on reducing your overwhelm. So basically going through some of that stuff, talking about some of those things, what works, what doesn't work, why doesn't it work, what am I bringing to the table, all those things that I just talked about in this little live just then. I want to help you have a bit of a chat about it, start overcoming some of those things and start reducing the overwhelm. So anyway, please jump in, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you are not living with overwhelm today. I hope that you are feeling like someone who is able to sit back, take a deep breath with your kids, enjoy holidays, enjoy work if that's where you are, enjoy whatever is going on in your life today, okay? Because today we are living and breathing and enjoying and being, okay? Most of all, have an amazing day. Mwah. See you soon. Don't forget to drop something below. Bye.